Hello everyone, Fernando, and latest news, war in Ukraine, US sends 150 new nuclear bombs to Europe. So the article says the following: as things stand, it was inevitable that the United States would decide to forecast at least 4 months shipping 150 B61 type tactical nuclear bombs of power restricted to NATO, European partners, the Western Military Alliance. Purpose is renew existing stock for a latest version, B61-12, which will be distributed in Germany, Belgium, Holland, Turkey, and Italy, which, according to local press verification, can have between 70 and 100 copies. The Russians, 2,000 copies of tactical bombs, theater, which is much less powerful than tactical nuclear weapons. An American fighter testing, so the photograph there. So yeah, basically, what is this all about? Well, this is the tactical movement of weapons is in response to the latest threats by Putin and the things he's been promising or threatening to do. And I think it's perfectly adequate. You have to do these things. If you just stay put and let him keep moving forward with his threats and not respond to that, then you're just showing weakness. And you really cannot show weakness with a dictator like Vladimir Putin. I mean, we're past that point of trying to be reasonable and, talking in equal terms. These are not equal terms. You're looking at someone that is more than willing to do absolutely anything, and the only thing he responds to is obviously force. If you don't respond with force, if you don't threaten him with nuclear destruction, then he is going to be more likely to do just that on you. So yeah, that's the way in which you deal with bullies. That's the way in which you deal with any other hostile that knows no limits. If someone breaks into your house and threatens to kill your family, you don't reason with him. You don't try to explain him how, this is wrong what you're doing. No, you're past that point. You just end that threat as soon as possible. And this is one of the ways in which you let him know, if you move, if you do anything else, as you promised, as you've been threatening to do, you will get destroyed. The mutual destruction power that nuclear bombs have only works if you have the will to use them. It doesn't matter if you have 10,000 million bombs. If you don't have the will to use them when you're being attacked by a bully like Vladimir Putin, then you may as well not have any of them at all. That's one of the things that some people forget. You're just playing. No one is playing at anything here. We're past playing. We're past that point of just talk. Bombs are already dropping and exploding. So you have to be very strong in your statements and the way in which you move. And I see that in this case. Politico says US speeds a plan to store upgraded nukes in Europe. The fielding of an improved gravity bomb has been moved up to December as Vladimir Putin threatens the region. The United States has accelerated the fielding of more accurate version of its mainstay nuclear bombs to NATO bases in Europe, according to U.S. diplomatic cable and two people familiar with the issue. The arrival of the upgraded B61-12 air-dropped gravity bomb, originally slated for the next spring, is now planned for December, U.S. officials told NATO allies during a closed-door meeting in Brussels this month, the cable reveals. So yeah, this is very, very interesting. Does this mean that we are closer than ever to a potential nuclear exchange with Russia? NATO versus Russia? Yeah, who knows? Is he crazy enough to do something like this? Well, I've been told many times that he's not crazy. I think it's one of the few things that both people that are on the Russian side and on the side of the West pretty much agree that no, he's not crazy. He is a dictator, no doubt about that. He's more than willing to slaughter his own people and others, no doubt about that either. He's killed so many people before, even before the war, just even political adversaries and so on. Yes, he will do that. Now, he's not stupid, he's not crazy. And at the end of the day, you have to realize that even if he ends up losing it at some point, well, there's no much option left. Even if he is absolutely crazy and starts dropping bombs all over the world, well, you have to respond to that. And this is the way in which you respond. You just don't sit there like a duck and just wait to be blown up entirely. You respond to that kind of aggression. It's very interesting to see these things happen, and it's very unsettling, of course. The advice for all of us as survivalists, preppers, people that want to keep our family safe, the same thing as always: prepare while you still can. Get the food that you need right now. Get the gear you need right now. I've talked about all of this over the years when we talked about masks that actually work, not just feel good little pieces of cloth for surgical masks and those things. No, actual equipment for protection against fallout. Videos done on that here on the channel. All of this is important. Even more important probably than that is having the rest of your prep sorted out, having plan B and C in place. Where would you go? Where will you shelter in place? What kind of stock pile do you need? How much food would you have in case something escalates and supply is interrupted? Keep in mind, even in a world where a couple tactical nukes are dropped, and we would like to think that cool heads will prevail even before that happens, or cool heads will prevail as soon as a couple of these are dropped, and we will avoid nuclear global Armageddon. I think it's very unlikely to reach that point because there's people that want to stay alive in spite of some crazy lunatics out there, and it's still debatable if Vladimir Putin is one of those or not. So I think that's still very unlikely. The likeliness of some deployment, maybe in Ukraine, maybe somewhere close, that is closer than ever. So again, prepare while you still can. For that, you have, of course, my books, Bugging Out on Relocating and Surviving the Economic Collapse for the economic preparedness part, and Street Survival Skills. Books available in the links below. See you next time. Take care.